This week, Congressman George Santos, despite facing multiple investigations and numerous calls to resign, announced his bid for re-election. The New York Republican is facing an uphill battle, though. According to Newsday's Siena College polling in January, 78% of voters in Santos' own district think he should resign. Those frustrated voters might finally have an alternative in our next guest. Joining me now in studio is Afghanistan war veteran and Republican candidate for Congress, Kellen Curry. Mr. Curry, welcome to the Saturday Show.
Well, thank you for having me, John. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, why are you running? I mean, the man just got there. Why are you running?
Well, we all know the story of George Santos.
Do we really?
Well, we're finding out a little bit as we go, but we know enough. And what we do know is that we must restore honest leadership back to this congressional district. It's the first step in delivering real results for the people of Long Island, and so that's why I'm running.
Is that that's the only reason? What if you were to replace him in Congress? What are the issues that would drive you as a member of Congress?
Yeah. I have a background in the nation's economy, so inflation is impacting residents on Long Island. This administration told us that inflation wasn't a problem. Then they told us that it was transitory. Then they told us that it doesn't matter. So we need more people in Congress who understand the economy. Immigration is an issue that's impacting our city. Part of the district represents New York City. Our own mayor has denounced this administration for not doing enough to solve the problem of immigration. We are spending billions of dollars in New York City on an issue that this administration and the Congress should be leading on. So those are some of the issues that I plan to advocate for as a member of Congress.
You said you have an experience in the economy, but you didn't say what that experience is.
Yeah. So I worked at J.P. Morgan. I was a vice president there for a number of years. And so, again, we need people serving in government who understand the economy, who can get us back to a place of controlling inflation, controlling our spending, which is driving so much of the inflation that's impacting the American people.
But inflation is coming down.
Not fast enough, though.
Sure, so not fast enough, but it is coming down.
We have more work to do. We have more work to do, and we must continue to have members of Congress who can be effective members on this issue and on the economy.
Speaker McCarthy has put forth his debt ceiling bill, which slashes a lot of programs and a lot of things that are important to folks in the Midwest, SNAP benefits and everything. If you were the member of Congress, would you vote in favor of that bill?
I think this debate is important. We must have this debate. We must have this fight. When are we going to control spending in Washington, D.C.? If we can't do it in regular order, then we have to do it in this debate. I think we should pass the debt ceiling to make sure that we don't default on the debt, but we have to have this debate. We have to get back to a place where we are controlling our spending, where we're spending within our means so that inflation can continue to come down.
But should there be a clean bill to raise the debt ceiling and then have the conversation about spending? The Speaker has yet to even put forth a budget. The President did that, this is April, 2 months ago.
What the Republicans are doing right now is using every leverage that they can to force this administration to the table, to lower spending, to get inflation under control. And I support that. I applaud that.
How are you going to convince voters in the district, even though the January polling said an overwhelming majority want George Santos out, but he's got Congressman Santos, but he's an incumbent. He's got the power of incumbency. What is your case beyond restoring honor and dignity to the congressional seat?
Well, I'll tell you what, so many people have gone to KellenCurry.com to demonstrate their support in our mission to restore honesty and integrity, because they understand it's the first goal, it's the first step to delivering results for the people of Long Island. But we have real issues. We have water infrastructure issues. We have issues around enough childhood psychiatrists, for example, because we have a high rate of suicide amongst our children. We have real issues on Long Island that need federal resources, and we need an effective member of Congress. We need a member of Congress who champions what I call the gold standard of constituency services. Right now, we have a neighboring congressman who's doing that work. And so this is where a congressman can positively impact the lives of people. That's not being done right now. I continue to believe that is the core of what we must do, and I'm committed to that work.
In the statement announcing his re-election, Congressman Santos touted being, quote, a dependable conservative vote in Congress. You're running for the Republican nomination. Would you say the same would be true for you if you're elected, a dependable conservative vote in Congress?
I believe in that, in the ideas of limited government, low taxes, a strong national defense, free market enterprise, and so, yes, I'm a conservative.
It seems like the Republican Party, though, has strayed away from a lot of those basic tenets. That, to my ear, that sounds like you're an old school Republican, not some of these Republicans who are here now. Do I have that right?
I am a kitchen table issue Republican, so I'm focused on the issues that are impacting people every single day in their lives. I'm not focused on some of the, sideshows that we see going on in Washington, D.C.